Welcome to another of our MMU Q-Step video tutorials. Today we're going to be looking at statistical significance and asking what it is and why it's so important. So statistical significance is a measure of how likely it is that we found our results by chance. So obviously if we've done a study and we find a really exciting result, we want to make sure that that result hasn't just arisen by chance or luck. So imagine you're this very sociable panda on your work Christmas night out and you've decided to let your hair down. But now it's the next day and not only are you in work with a cracking hangover, but you also forgot that you've got a presentation that your boss will be fuming if you mess up. All seems lost until your very smug and not very hungover colleague shows up and recommends you their tried and tested hangover cure of a plate of rotten fish. Before tucking into this very smelly dish, you might want to know just how tried and tested your friend's cure really is. Imagine they've tried it 3 times and it worked twice. Would you be happy to try the dish knowing it works 2/3 of the time? Or might you think that those successes could have been through chance? Now imagine a few other colleagues chime in who've tried the fish method out today, and we find out that out of 15 staff members, 11 were cured of their hangovers, while 4 weren't. You probably would be a lot more comfortable trying the method now, although perhaps some part of you might think it was down to other factors, like the fact that a lot of those 11 also got chippy on the way home. Now your colleague reveals that they actually read about the rotten fish method in a scientific journal, where a study of over 1,000 people found it had an 83% success rate for hangovers. You'd probably be a lot less concerned that this finding was down to chance and dig right into those fish guts. So rather than relying on a hunch, statistical significance gives us a measure of how confident we are a result was not by chance. And the significance level is the threshold for whether to accept or reject a result as being based on chance or not. The most common significance level, and the one that we use in the social sciences, is 5% or 0.05. This means that we're only willing to accept results as significant if they have less than a 5% likelihood of being by chance. So when you look at the p-value for whichever statistical test you've done, if that p-value is below 0.05, then the result is statistically significant. But if it's above 0.05, then the result is not statistically significant. Some people can find spotting significant p-values quite difficult because of the decimals. So one easy solution to this is to times your p-value by 100, which turns it into a percentage, and then you're just looking for p-values below 5%. So let's look at some example p-values. Would you be able to tell which of these were significant, i.e. which are below 0.05? So once we times those p-values by 100, we get the following percentages, which are hopefully easier to spot which are significant and which are not. So remember, it's just values below 5% which are significant and above 5% are not. Remember that even if a p-value is just below 5%, it's still significant, and if it's just above 5%, then it's still not significant. So hopefully you've seen why statistical significance is so important, and you'll feel confident dealing with it in the future. Thanks for watching another of our MMU Q-Step video tutorials, and we'll see you next time.